Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, you may remember this particular concept machine, Lexus UX concept that they showed off several months ago. Now this was a brash, very funky, if you will, looking little SUV concept. And the real thought of it going into production was probably slim to none. Well, apparently that wasn't Lexus's mindset, because they've made the announcement over the past several days that this vehicle will absolutely be going into production. And they're assuming they're going to soften the styling a tad bit on this particular vehicle. And we may get to see a production version of this concept maybe as early as the Paris Motor Show to fire off the new auto show season. So we'll have to wait and see on that front. We'll keep you in tune if we hear any more. Next up on the list, a story that really got overshadowed by the Geneva Motor Show was the fact that PSA, the parent company for Peugeot Citroën, has now bought out Opel and Vauxhall. And the deal, as far as that's concerned, is one of the weirdest, most convoluted deals I've ever even heard of. There's a lot of parts and pieces that need to kind of be moved about, even though the Opel-derived diesel engine that's in the Cruze actually still needs to come from Opel, because otherwise they wouldn't have another power plant. So that deal is going to continue on. There is another little situation, too, that the possibility that General Motors could buy back Opel and Vauxhall if PSA so desires. I don't know if they got first dibs on this deal, but it is a very weird, very twisted little sale, to say the least. But there is some things that are coming out that are pretty interesting. The sheer fact that PSA may now have their cards on the table as far as why they wanted to do this, because this sale makes them one of the biggest manufacturers in sales overall inside of Europe. In fact, number 2 behind the folks over at Volkswagen. But there is a lot of people that have their concerns after the whole Brexit situation. The sheer fact that a lot of these vehicles are going to be going head-to-head with each other. Overcapacity may mean that a lot of factories may have to be shut down. It's an interesting little situation moving forward, and we'll definitely keep you in tune what we hear if we hear any more about this deal. Next up on the list, well, I haven't been able to do one of these videos in a long time without having to talk about the Dodge Hellcat Demon. And oddly enough, we're not even going to be talking about the new teaser video, which actually hasn't gone live yet. It comes out every Thursday. So it's another 12, 15, 24 hours before that video actually makes it live. But we've got some new information about the Demon, albeit about the crate situation. Remember we talked about this several episodes ago. And a couple of things that were blindly obvious of what's going to come out of this deal, including a tire pressure monitor gauge, also the skinny tires for the front of the machine, and the racing belts for inside of the vehicle. But some of the other things have now come very apparent what's inside of this. The folks over at Snap-on Tools are the actual provider for all of these tool sets, including this, a brand new fender cover with the Demon logo, along with this, a Snap-on Tools torque wrench, which actually has the official Demon logo on it as well. An all-aluminum jack from the folks over at Snap-on Tools, of course, with the Demon logo as well. And this cordless impact gun from the folks over at Snap-on Tools with the Demon logo. And you can actually put all of this stuff, because obviously you can't fit it all inside of that crate, actually in the back of the Demon itself, and you can't haul it behind the car. It comes with this nice little tote bag with the Demon logo. Then you can fit all of those tools for your day at the track. Now, there is another little situation. The folks over at Autoline TV are actually reporting that this crate itself, with all the goodies inside of it, is going to be insanely inexpensive, which brings up 2 major questions, at least in my mind. Number 1, what's their idea of insanely inexpensive? The other deal is, do you have to own a Demon to actually purchase this? Because I could sure use a new jack and maybe that impact gun and some of the other goodies. That would be kind of cool, actually. And that crate would be cool, even though I don't really have a place to put it. So we'll have to wait and see on all of those fronts. Next up on the list, you may remember this particular machine. The folks over at Lucid Motors were showing off this Tesla fighter, this all-electric, over 1,000 horsepower, 315 to 400 miles of range, depending on the model you actually pick. This particular vehicle being the launch edition vehicle, they're going to build 255 of the first editions of these vehicles. You actually have to lay down some smack to actually own one of these. $25,000 down for the deposit. Talking about this car being well over $100,000 to actually purchase. The launch edition coming with 1,000 horsepower and 315 miles of range. But just before the taping of this particular program, Lucid has actually come out and has said there's going to be an entry-level version of this vehicle. And it comes with all the goodness that you get in the launch edition, minus the bigger wheels. It only comes with 19-inch wheels on all four corners. But you get the 12-way power seats along with the 10 airbags, 10-speaker audio system, along with 5 passenger seating and 4 display screens, 3 of those being touch screens. Now the vehicle only has 240 miles of range, 400 horsepower, and it's rear wheel drive. But this vehicle only asks for $2,500 down, and the vehicle's only going to cost you $60,000, which way undercuts the Model S. In fact, that's $60,000 before the $7,500 tax break that you get from the U.S. government, meaning this thing's going to be just a touch over $50,000. That's a lot of luxury for that kind of money. Now, no word on when exactly these vehicles will be going into production or when you'll be able to get your grubby little mitts on that, but we'll definitely keep you in tune if we hear any more about it. Next up on the list, you may remember this particular machine. Famed racer and developer of high-end racing Ferrari type stuff, James Glickenhaus. Mr. Glickenhaus is developing this high-end supercar for future sales, but he's got another interesting little idea that's been pounding around the old interwebs over the past several days. And it kind of centers around this machine. Remember the Lamborghini Huracan Performante that actually just demolished under sub-7-minute lap around the Nordschleife Loop circuit of the Nürburgring. He is recommending that they do a thing what he wants to be called the Road Cup in the days leading up to the 24 hours of Nürburgring to actually close off the Nordschleife Loop, invite all the high-end manufacturers that want to come in and participate in this particular deal, and actually have somewhat of a sanctioned lap record runs. Basically, so everybody can be on the up and up, because there's always been some sort of question, the Performante being a prime example of a lot of people claiming that that lap record was a little bit faked. Also, you look at McLaren's P1, which has actually had, 4 lap record announcements, but yet have shown us a video on this particular deal. The Nissan Nismo GTR, that actually they brought 3 of those Nismos to the Nürburgring, but only one of the cars with one of the pilots. They brought 3 drivers down there, but only one of them made this monster run that was way faster than the rest of them. A lot of people pointing towards special tires, special settings, special stuff like light weighting the vehicle impressively, and then making these lap record runs. But if you do it all in one big session of this thing called the Road Cup in the days leading up to the 24 hours of Nürburgring, it would keep a little bit of everybody on the up and up. Plus, if you stream this on the internet or you get some television provider, I would love to sit down. You could send the cars out 2-lap intervals where they're kind of out there in their own air. It would be a doggone hoot. So, Mr. Glickenhaus, if you can get this deal done, I am on board. I would love to watch this. And I would probably pay a small amount of money to actually get to witness it. So, pretty cool indeed. I think it might be a good idea, but the chances of getting these manufacturers out there, and plus, not to mention, you think of people going after the front-wheel drive lap record, the all-wheel drive lap record, the rear-wheel drive saloon, coupe. Oh gosh, there's so many different segments. SUV. Have all those cars out there would be a little bit on the crazy side. So we'll have to wait and see if this deal ever gets off the ground. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.